Skyward Sword is probably one of the most hated Zelda games next to The Adventure of Link, and while I can see some genuine problems with it, I'm going to focus on some good things about the game, mainly some key characters. The game begins with a pretty long introduction that most fans found boring and tedious, yet I actually really like it, not without its flaws. If you had the option to skip tutorial sections and cutscenes, I think it would fix the problem most people have. On a first playthrough, it can be pretty cool. For one, it introduces my favorite incarnation of Zelda. I think it's because you could tell Link and Zelda were close with each other before the start of the game. It makes you actually care about trying to save Zelda, which is important as it's the main goal in most other Legend of Zelda games. This time, you're not the only one wanting Zelda, as the Groose is let loose. For all those who don't know, Groose is like the schoolyard bully who has the eyes on Zelda and is very jealous that she is close with Link. He's so cartoonish and silly, you can't just help but laugh at him. Groose is kind of like Roderick. You hate him, but you love him every second he's on screen.
Greg!
I can't really do him justice here. And now the final noteworthy character, Fi. A pretty cool idea and concept, but pretty poor in execution. I think Nintendo knows they went too far.
I may have gone too far in a few places.
There are so many points where a character says something and Fi repeats it. Something happens on screen and Fi tells you what just happened, as if you were doing something else. She'll tell you that your hearts are low, even though the game already has a beeping sound to tell you that your hearts are low. I literally do not understand why the developers made the conscious decision to have her tell you things you already know. Let's get back to the positive. Let's talk about my favorite dungeon in the game, the Ancient Cistern. Or as I like to call it, the Ancient Chadstern. This is my favorite temple for a multitude of reasons. For one, it's got this nice music that's very ambient and gets you into the mood that this was a sacred place many years ago. The item you get in the dungeon is also really fun because it makes you feel like Indiana Jones. I also really like how dark the temple gets, literally and thematically. You go down into a cave and it feels like a completely different environment compared to the rest of the temple, which hasn't really happened in other Legend of Zelda games. Finally, the boss battle. It's just plain awesome. You basically fight this 6-armed mech with swords. It's really cool. And that pretty much is the video. Looking back at it, it was pretty short and lacked a lot of depth, but I hope I encouraged at least a few people to give this game a try. And with the rumored Switch port coming out, I think that may happen. This game might actually get some love, and hopefully it'll fix the problems in the game too. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all later.